Okay, let's start. So far in the discussion, we have seen many types of novels. We started with the concept of the novel, the definition. Later on, we saw the novel types, and we saw the first one was that social realistic novel. Later on, we saw historical novel. Later on, we saw a novel on social realism, right? And uh, we were dealing with the concept of science fiction. As I told you that science fiction is totally different from the regular type of fiction, and popularly it is called as sci-fi. In the same way, Wi-Fi, science fiction is called sci-fi, SCI-FIC, sci-fi. So, as we discussed that the sci-fi is totally different from the regular type of fiction or novel. It totally deals with imaginative concept based on science and technology. It also highlights the scientific or technological issues like space. It is called antariksh, right? Just like time machine, time travel, another world, that is life on another planet, like that. So, some kind of supernatural elements are introduced by the novelist. And the science fiction got the momentum, got the popularity in the modern world, which is influenced by science and technology on a large scale. So, one novelist started the fashion of writing science fiction, and that was H.G. Wells. H.G. Wells, and he published the first science fiction, and that was The War of the Worlds. The War of the Worlds. Here, H.G. Wells imagined a conflict or a war between two different worlds, means war between aliens and human beings. And he imagined that the spacecraft of the aliens landed on the earth, and later on the aliens wanted to take over the earth, right, and to make the human beings as their slaves. So human beings wanted to restore their power on earth. So in this regard, there is a conflict between the aliens and the human beings. So H.G. Wells started writing science fiction. Later on, we saw one more science fiction, and the title is Imagination. Right? It is based on the moon and space exploration. Right? So we can have that science fiction got its momentum in modern world also. Right? As I told you that many strange machines, many strange inventions, just like injections, like what you say, gadgets, aeroplanes, and many such things are introduced by the writer, the novelist. As I told you that the total base of science fiction is imagination and imagination only. So there is no connection between realism and science fiction, right? And as I told you in the last lecture that today science fiction looks imaginative, but it can be called as a future possibility, right? The machine that we are watching or we are reading in a novel, that is science fiction, may look as imaginative, but in coming future, we cannot deny, we cannot reject that such kind of a machine would be, yes, invented by the scientists, right? So it deals particularly, principally with the impact of actual or imagined science upon society or individuals. Just imagine, this is the base of science fiction. Just imagine it. We have to imagine. And as I told you in the last lecture that the novelist takes us into the new world, the world of imagination, right? So the science fiction genre, science fiction writing started since 1920, and recently it got a very momentum, right? And why does it got momentum? Because of the films, and many films are we are seeing that based on science fiction, and such kind of films looks so what say attractive because of the computer generated imaginative picture images, right? So we can say that science fiction is nothing but a modern type of writing. It deals with common to modern science fiction. Their stories made no attempt at scientific and technological possibility. We can have that there is one more emotion in scientific fiction, that is, as the first one is fantasy, that is imagination, and second is horror. What would happen? What would happen? Right? We can imagine that if aliens come to the earth, then what would happen? That fear is there. And most of the science fictions and most of the science uh, films depicted that aliens are more stronger. Aliens are stronger than human beings. So such kind of horror is created in our minds. What would happen if really aliens happen to come to the earth? So the science fiction get the themes of science, as I told you, right? So scientific and technological developments changes the topic of science fiction, right? As it is a matter of imagination, each and every writer uh, creates a new kind of machine, a new kind of science theme in his writing, like that. So H.G. Wells started this science fiction writing. Later on, T.H. Huxley wrote many science fictions, right, like that. So we can say that many scientific films are based on science fiction. And in the 21st century, science fiction had become much more than literary genre, right? It is very popular nowadays, right? One more science fiction we have, that is Trip to the Moon. One more science fiction is there, that is Time Machine, right? So all these things we can see in science fiction. Yes, is it clear to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Any problem regarding science fiction?
No, sir.
Okay, let's move towards the next one. As I told you that Terminator 3, Rise of the Machine. I gave the example of Spider-Man, right? And many more such kind of thing. Please go through the slide, please. So as I told you that the War of the Worlds is the example. Then H.G. Wells, The Time Machine. That these two texts are very popular. Let's move further. One more strange type of novel form is picaresque novel. Picaresque novel. In the topic, elements of the novel, we saw the concept of the protagonist, or let's say the concept of the hero. As we discussed, that traditionally, hero is a person who is having certain positive qualities. Generally, a hero is a fearless guy, right? And fearless in the sense he is not afraid of the situation, or he is not afraid of the antagonist. So he is fearless, he is brave, he loves truthfulness, right? He protects the heroine, he protects the family, he rejects or he opposes the injustice on the weaker section of the society. So such kind of positive feelings, such kind of qualitative qualities are there in the concept related to hero, right? And this is the idea of the hero in our mind. But what happens in picaresque novel, we don't find such kind of traditional picture of the hero, traditional picture of the protagonist. The word picaresque is taken from a Spanish word picaro. Picaro is the root word, and the meaning of the word picaro is a rogue. Rougue, right? It can be called as a principle-less man. We can call as a rascal. We can call it as a gunda, right? So the meaning of the word picaro is rascal, or let's say a principle-less man or gunda. And these things are related to the hero or the protagonist. As I told you that picaro means gunda, means automatically this quality of gunda or rascalness is associated to the hero, right? So total opposite picture of the hero is presented in such kind of a picaresque novel. Total opposite picture. As I told you, traditionally hero is fearless. Traditionally hero loves the heroine, protects the family, and the hero is fearless, right? Like a brave man, he faces the situation, he faces the antagonist and defeats the antagonist at the end. But such things never be found as far as the hero is concerned in picaresque novel. So total opposite type of hero is presented by the novelist in picaresque novel, right? So what happens in a picaresque novel? The hero is not a brave one. He is not brave, but he is an escapist. He runs away from the problems. He does not want to face the antagonist. He does not want to face the challenge in the story. Even his love for the heroine is not authentic, is not real. Right? We don't find any kind of confidence in the character of hero in the present novel. So he's an escapist. Escapist means palkutya, ranchordas, right? So total opposite type of hero we find, and we laugh at such kind of behavior of the hero. And Most of the time, the hero behaves nonsensely without any logic, and we can have a picaresque novel. As I told you, that the picaresque novel does not follow the traditional type of story writing in the novel. The structure or the plot or the story of the picaresque novel is not compact. It is loose. Loose in the sense it does not have proper beginning, it does not have proper middle, and it does not have proper ending also. Right? And many scenes, many events in the novel, they don't have any interconnection with one another. Right? So it makes picaresque novel quite difficult to understand. Quite difficult to understand. And we can have the example of picaresque novel, that is Don Quick Talk, like Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe, right? Like that. So the word Picaro is now taken into English literature, right? Let me tell you the characteristics. As I told you that the hero behaves in a nonsense way, and this kind of nonsense behavior creates comedy. We laugh, we smile, right? We laugh at the nonsense behavior, nonsense thinking of the hero. Whenever there is a problem, whenever there is a challenge in the story, the hero runs away and we are shocked, right? So this kind of thing is presented by the novelist. And let me tell you, the hero is nothing but a rascal. He wanders here and there. He wanders here and there. So he changes his place from many times. So we can have that the setting of the picaresque novel changes again and again. The Picaro means the hero wanders about and has adventures among people from all social class and professions, often just barely escaping punishment for his own lying, cheating, and stealing. So the hero in the present picaresque novel can be a thief, can be a thief, a moralless guy, a liar also, a cheater also, right? So such kind of characteristics are there of picaresque novel. For example, Lucky Jim is a novel, and as the title indicates, lucky. So because of the luck, Jim Dixon, the name of the protagonist, Jim Dixon, right, manages to win the heart of the heroine. But whenever there is a problem, whenever there is some challenge in the story, Jim Dixon runs away from the scene. So we can say that Dixon gets a job of a lecturer in a college, but when there is a situation to deliver a lecture in front of the students, Jim Dixon runs away from the scene. So such kind of illogical behavior is presented by the writer through picaresque novel. पिकारेस्क नॉवल मध्ये काय असतं? ट्रॅडिशनली हिरो म्हणजे काय आहे? तर हिरो म्हणजे एक न घाबरणारा, परिस्थितीला तोंड देणारा आणि कुठलंही चॅलेंज स्वीकारणारा असा व्यक्ती आहे. आपल्या मनामध्ये हिरो कसा आहे? तो खरं बोलतो, सिच्युएशनला घाबरत नाही, राईट? त्याचं कॅरेक्टर अतिशय चांगलं आहे. हिरोईनची काळजी घेतो, कुटुंबाची काळजी घेतो आणि कोणावरही अन्याय झाला तर तो काय करतो, त्याला विरोध करतो, राईट. आणि जेव्हा जेव्हा स्टोरीमध्ये प्रॉब्लेम येईल, क्लॅश येईल, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होईल, तेव्हा तो काय करतो, त्याला तोंड देतो आणि अँटागॉनिस्ट जो असेल त्याला तो हरवतो, शेवटी तो जिंकतो. पण इथे काय होतं, पिकारेस्क्यू नॉव्हल मध्ये हिरो ही कन्सेप्टच चेंज करून टाकली आहे. हिरो इज नॉट अ हिरो बट ही बिकम्स अँटी हिरो. अँटी मीन्स अपोजिट. म्हणजे ट्रॅडिशनली हिरोच्या ज्या क्वालिटी आहेत त्या सगळ्या बदलून टाकलेल्या आहेत. तर पिकारेस्क्यू नॉव्हल मला पिकारो हा शब्द आहे तो स्पॅनिश वर्ड पिकारो यापासून देण्यात आलेला आहे आणि पिकारोचा अर्थ रग असाही आहे, म्हणजे त्या रास्कल किंवा गुंडा अशा पद्धतीने तो एक हिरो आपला आहे. त्याला हिरो म्हणावे की काय म्हणावं, की झिरो म्हणावं, राईट. ही इज नॉट अ हिरो, ही इज अ झिरो, राईट. म्हणजेच नॉव्हेलिस्ट अशा वेगळ्या पद्धतीचा हिरो आपल्या समोर मांडतो ज्या हिरोमध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारच्या ट्रॅडिशनली हिरोचे क्वालिटी नाही, गुण नाही, राईट. आणि हा हिरो कसा आहे तर मग गुंडा आहे, मवाली आहे, खोटारडा आहे, कॅरेक्टरलेस आहे, पळकुटे आहे, घाबरट आहे, अशा पद्धतीने. आणि हा काय करत असतो, ही चेंजेस द प्लेस. पुन्हा पुन्हा त्याचा तो राहण्याचं ठिकाण असेल तो बदलत असतो. आणि त्याचमुळे पिकारेस्को नॉव्हल मधली सेटिंग आहे ती काय आहे तर कीप्स ऑन चेंजिंग, बदलत जात असते, राईट. आणि पिकारेस्क्यू नॉव्हल, as I told you, does not have a proper beginning, proper middle and proper end. म्हणजे सुरुवातही ट्रॅडिशनली योग्य नसते, मिडलही योग्य नाही आणि शेवटही योग्य नाही. योग्य नाही म्हणजेच काय, जे ट्रॅडिशनल नॉव्हेल्स मध्ये आहे योग्य नाही याचा अर्थ काय आहे तर 2 किंवा 3 किंवा जेही सीन असतील, ज्याही घटना घडत असतील नॉव्हेलमध्ये त्यांचा एकमेकांशी संबंध असेलच असं अजिबात नाही. संबंध जर नाही तर काय होईल, मग 2 घटनांमध्ये किंवा जास्त घटनांमध्ये नॉव्हेलच्या जर एकमेकांशी काही संबंध नसेल तो इट कॅन क्रिएट ए कन्फ्युजन. आणि मग स्टोरीमध्ये काय कधी कधी काय घडतं आहे हे सुद्धा आपल्याला हे समजायला कठीण जातं. दॅट्स वाय पिकारेस्क्यू नॉव्हल इज क्वाईट डिफिकल्ट टू अंडरस्टँड, राईट. मग आपला हा हिरो जो आहे तो जागोजागी फिरत राहतो भटक्यासारखा, भटकंती करत राहतो, तर खरं बोललं असं काही नाही. त्याच्या आयुष्यामध्ये हिरोईन येते पण तो तिच्यावर प्रेमही खरं करतो असं अजिबात नाही. बऱ्याच वेळा त्याचं प्रेम खोटं असतं. हिरोईन कधी अडचणीत आली, राईट, तर तो तिथून पळ काढतो. एखादी सिच्युएशन जर अवघड झाली काय होतं, तरी तो तिथून पळ काढतो, राईट. तो अशा पद्धतीने हा हिरो आपल्या स्टोरीमध्ये आपल्याला दिसतो, राईट. आणि अशा पिकारेस्क्यू नॉव्हेल्स बरेच आहेत. हेनरी फिल्डिंग यामध्ये एक मोठं नाव आहे. शॅमेला, जोसेफ अँड्र्यूज, टॉम जोन्स, राईट, असे भरपूर नॉव्हेल्स यामध्ये लिहिलेले आहेत. तर म्हणजे हिरोची कन्सेप्ट पूर्णपणे चेंज करून टाकलेली आहे, right. And as I told you that the present novel type, that is picaresque novel, has no proper beginning and no proper ending also, right. And the main intention behind writing such kind of a novel is to produce or introduce the adventure after adventure in the life of a picaro, that is the hero. The hero wanders from place to place as well as from job to job. He changes many jobs, right? The adventures and the wanderings in different social settings permit the Picaro to meet people of all classes as he changes his place, right? So he meets many kind of people. So we can say that in a Picaresque novel there is a crowd of characters. Many characters we find, right? Then he is thus provided with the opportunity to satirize corruption and hypocrisy also. So whenever he meets some new people, new person, new class of people, he criticizes them also. म्हणजे हा हिरो नवीन नवीन लोकांना भेटतो, जागा बदलवतो आणि ज्याही नवीन लोकांना तो भेटणार त्यावर तो काय करत असणार, एक प्रकारे टीका करत असतो. राईट. सो हा जो हिरो आहे त्याच्या डायलॉग साठी पण सुद्धा अतिशय फेमस आहे. विट्स, WITS. त्याच्या बोलण्यामध्ये अतिशय छान पद्धतीने आर्ग्युमेंट तो करत असतो. सो लिव्हिंग बाय विट्स implies knowledge of the world, a sharp insight into responses that may be played upon advantageously, a mastery of the techniques of playing upon them. Right? म्हणजेच हा हिरो कधी कधी आपलं भाषणही देत असतो, समाजाबद्दल मतही व्यक्त करतो. जॉन डिक्सन म्हणजे लकी जी मधला जो जॉन डिक्सन जो आहे तो कॉलेजमध्ये नोकरीला लागतो प्राध्यापक म्हणून. म्हणजे शिक्षण व्यवस्थेवर सुद्धा तो काय करतो, भाष्य करत असतो. शिक्षण व्यवस्था कशी आहे, टीचर्स कसे आहे, विद्यार्थी कसे आहे, यावर सुद्धा तो त्याचे मत मांडतो. म्हणजेच पिकारेस्क्यू नॉवेल मधला हिरो खूपच वाया गेलेला आहे असंही आपण म्हणू शकत नाही. राईट. कधी कधी तो कधी जोकर प्रमाणे वागतो, मूर्खाप्रमाणे वागतो आणि कधी कधी तो अतिशय चांगल्या गोष्टी आपल्याला सांगत असतो. तर अशाप्रमाणे वी कॅनॉट गेस द बिहेवियर ऑफ द हिरो. राईट. हिरो काय करेल त्याचा काही भरोसा नाही. राईट. सो दिस इज द thing that I want to tell you. One more example is there, the unfortunate traveler. हा सुद्धा एक पिकारेस्क्यू नॉव्हल आहे. राईट. असे भरपूर एक्झाम्पल्स आपल्याला देता येतील. रॉबिन्सन क्रुसो नावाचं सुद्धा एक नॉव्हल सांगता येईल आपल्याला. राईट. काय अडचण आहे पिकारेस्क्यू नॉव्हल बद्दल?
नो सर, नो प्रॉब्लेम सर.
वेळ संपलाय आपला, थांबायचं आपण.
ओके सर. हो सर.
ओके, थँक्यू व्हेरी मच. गुड डे.